So today I'm going to be filming the mid-year book tag. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm really excited. I have the questions down. Hopefully they're the right ones. I've answered them all before, so I'm not mumbling. I'm not spending like 30 minutes searching for a book. So let's just get into it. So the first question is, what is the best book that you've read this year? And I actually have two for this one, and they're the same two for the second question as well. The second question is, what has been your favorite sequel? And again, I have two, and they're the same one. So the two books are the answers for 1 and 2. The Wicked King by Holly Black and The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. So I actually read The Folk of the Air this year, which is kind of surprising because I feel like everyone on book Twitter has read it for like the past 2 years. So I read this, I want to say a couple of months ago, and of course I flew past it. And when I read The Wicked King, I needed a moment to sit with what I had just read. Let's just say that. I thought this was, words can't even describe. This was just mind-boggling, literally world-changing for me. I thought this was one of the best books I've ever read, and probably the best sequel I've ever read. Until I read The Dragon Republic, and I thought, oh my god, now they're tied. So this is the second book of The Folk of the Air, and this is the second book of the Poppy War trilogy. They're both in my Holy Grail shelf because these are both one of my favorite series. So I'm going to do like dedicated videos to these series. Just know that I love these. You know, they both do what sequels are supposed to do. They still capture the audience. They further the plot. They flesh out the characters. I love Holly Black. I love R.F. Kuang. They are amazing. I love these books, and definitely these clear the bad rap that sequels get, because you know how people say the second book or the second movie is never as good as the first one. This changes it. Honestly, if you wanted to, you could just read these two books on, like, if you want to, just read these two books. So the third book is there a new release that you haven't read yet? And this one I haven't read. Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. I know, trust me, I know. It came out May 5th. It's been in my Amazon cart, I think, for like the past since May. I don't know why I haven't bought it. I need to buy it. Like, I'm gonna buy it right after this watch. I'm gonna buy it. Here's where I'm gonna include the thank you for your purchase for Felix Ever After. Yes. Okay, so what is Felix Ever After? It is, just when you read the synopsis on Goodreads, just as one line. Felix Love, our main character, right? Felix Love has never been in love. I was like, yes, I'm hooked. Felix Love is a Black transgender boy, and he is in his senior year of high school, I think. He starts getting these transphobic messages by this anonymous person from his school, and he kind of goes on a quest to figure out who is doing this and why. And while that happens, I think he like falls in love. Like, there's this love triangle or something. I've heard really good reviews about this, and I'm so excited to read it. I know it's going to be a 5-star read for me. I just know it. I think it is so important for everyone to read, especially right now where we're trying to uplift and nurture Black voices. And I know Case and Calendar has other books that I have in my cart too. I really want to read a lot of his books because everyone loves him. So I'm really excited to read Felix Ever After. I'm going to buy it, I promise. Number 4 is an upcoming release that you're excited for. And this one is The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. It comes out April 6th, 2021. Yes, this is the 4th book of the Truly Devious series. When this got announced, I think like last week, I flipped out. Oh my god, I thought this was the end. The 3rd book, I thought it was done. The clock on the wall, the hand on the wall. I thought it was the end. I was like, oh my god, that's it. I have to say bye to Stevie Bell. And then when I saw that she's coming out with the 4th book, so what's the 4th book about? So basically, Stevie Bell has become kind of a, okay, well, you guys know what the Truly Devious is because I've talked about it. It's I know I did. Yeah. So it's basically just a YA thriller. Recap really fast recap. It's basically just a YA thriller centering around Stevie Bell, our female protagonist. She is kind of a detective, and she goes to this private academy in Vermont to find out what happened in the truly devious crime slash mystery. So it's 3 books about all of that, and then she made a 4th book. So this one is about Stevie Bell. She's kind of a celebrity now in the true crime community. And so she's been getting emails slash phone calls slash messages to come to these places, you know, other schools, camps, to figure out mysteries, right? Like, she's a detective. And so this one, she gets an email from Camp Bounty Lake, who is infamous for their box in the woods mystery. And so another box has arisen in the woods, and it has 3 grisly dolls. So there's like you know how like Truly Devious, for them it's like the doll collector. So now Stevie Bell has to come with her friends and act as counselors, I think, for the summer and figure out the box in the woods mystery. I'm so excited. I love Maureen Johnson's writing. I know this one is not going to disappoint at all, so I am so excited. I have to wait another year, but it's fine because it's going to be released 2 days before my birthday. So number 5 is, what is your biggest disappointment so far? What book has disappointed you the most this year? I don't really like to talk bad about books. Because remember, I think I told you guys in previous videos that I don't like to DNF books. I will push through even if I don't like it, especially because I like to buy physical copies of my books. So I feel that it's kind of a waste if I DNF a book, because I don't really like to unhaul my books. I'm starting to get better at that, but I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to books. Okay, so I'll just say it. Romanov by Nadine Brandeis. I talked about this in my wrap-up. This was just kind of disappointing because I went into it expecting to get a retelling of the Romanovs from Russia, and I did get that, but not really. It was kind of I don't know, it just felt a little bit slow-paced for me. I like the magical elements of it, but not really. I'm more of this is where it gets weird, because you know how I love fantasy. When it comes to historical fiction, I'd rather it be like historical fiction rather than like supernatural historical fiction, if that makes sense. Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is kind of a mystical retelling of World War I. It's kind of more romantical, but it has the gods playing into it. So it's Aphrodite, Ares, and Hephaestus telling their stories about these human lives in World War I. Again, that's a little bit, it's historical fiction, but it's a little bit on the fantasy side. This is different because this is so good. I recommend this one. So if it's like this, where the writing is good, I love the characters, the plot, I'll like it, you know. But because Romanov was a little bit slow paced, I couldn't really get into the characters, and I couldn't really transport myself into 19th, 20th century Russia. It was disappointing, and I was really excited for it because like I said, I'm fascinated by the Romanov history, like the history of the Romanovs. I'm fascinated by that. So a little bit disappointing. I still gave it 3 stars. I didn't give it like 1 or 2 stars. But if I had to give you a historical fiction with some supernatural elements. So the next question is, what has been your biggest surprise this year? And for me, it has to be Atsum, A Darker Shade of Magic and the Shades of Magic trilogy. I think I said this when I did my review on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I kind of gave up on Atsum a little bit. I was just like, it's not for me, it's fine. It's one of those books that the book community love. I just can't get into it. But when I reread it this year, I almost I was so mad at myself for losing so much time when I could have been reading this. I fell in love with it. I love the characters. Again, I will make a video about that one. I love the characters. I love the plot. I love V.E. Schwab's writing. I think that there's something in there for everyone, and I highly recommend it to anyone who loves. It's a little bit more adult than young adult. I'll just say that. I think that V.E. Schwab does a good job in having this kind of, I don't want to say like grown-up writing, but it's much more serious than other young adult books. Atsum was a huge surprise for me because I gave up on it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and then boom, I fell in love. It's in my Holy Grail shelf. I love it. I love it. I love it. I recommend it to anyone who wants a unique magical system and these fleshed out characters that you're gonna love. I still love Rye. I still love Kel. I still love Lila. I still love Alucard. Alucard. Biggest surprise. Really good surprise. My favorite new author, R.F. Kuang. I love her so much. I follow her on Twitter. She is an amazing person. I love her so much. Go follow her on Twitter. She is amazing, and she's coming out with this Dark Academy Oxford setting novel, and she's writing it to Lord. I mean, come on, what more do we want from an author? Literally, I love her, and she writes so beautifully. She writes so, like, her magical systems and her worlds are so intricate, but she manages to write it in a way that we won't get confused, and she writes it in a way that we can relate to, that we can see it as like being our world. Like, it's not so far-fetched that we're like, oh yeah, like imagine. It's something like, oh yeah, like I can imagine this happening, you know? And her characters, oh my god, her characters. I love R.F. Kuang. I'm gonna make a whole video just dedicated to this. I actually made a video about the Poppy War, but it was only like 12 minutes. And honestly, no, I need to like 30 minutes talk about this because it's so good. And there was no spoilers in it. But I decided that I'm going to tag the spoilers so people can watch it if they want to be spoiled. Definitely new favorite author. I am going to be pre-ordering / buying all of her books that she's come out with because she's that great. So, your favorite fictional crush on, okay, this year, because I was like, I mean, of all time. No, this year, it has to be Jem Carstairs. I love Jem Carstairs so much. He is, like, I don't even want to, oh, Jem Carstairs. He is thoughtful. He is nice. He's smart. He's brave. He is sensitive. He is just everything. And I love him. I love him. I love him. Jem is, yes, Jem Carstairs. James. Oh. My favorite new character, Chen Kate. Honestly, Chen Kate could be my fictional crush too for this year. Chen Kate is he is a character in R.F. Kuang's Poppy Wars books. Chen Kate. He is everything to me. My list, my very, 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 very short list of characters that I stan, like that I bring into my heart, not just love, not just like characters that like I'm actually like these are mine. He's in it. I love Chen Kate so much, and I think that he is one of the best characters in book literature right now. I'm just saying it. I'm putting it out there. He is so smart. He is so brave. He is so selfless. He is so... He's just everything. He's everything that you want in a friend, in a boyfriend, and not like he's just everything. And him and Rin from Fang Runin from Poppy War, our female protagonist, their friendship is everything. They are truly platonic soulmates, and we don't see that in a lot of books nowadays. So the fact that we have that in this book, like these amazing books, amazing. Chen Kate, I would D word for you. Chen Kate, I would K word for you. So that's where I'm at. That's where my mental state is at, where I'm hyper fixating and I'm projecting onto characters, fictional characters. A book that made you cry. Okay. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid has quickly become one of my favorite authors. I would say she is, because I love Daisy Jones and the Six, I think masterpiece. This one, also another masterpiece. Okay, so this one is basically, so there's this reporter, Monique Grant, who gets a job to interview the elusive, the A-list, the amazing, the glamorous Evelyn Hugo. She is aging. She is, you know, people say she's on her way to, you know, to the eternal sleep. And there was a point where she stopped having contact with the press, basically. So no one really knows her true story. No one knows her full life story. No one knows where she's at now. And so she reaches out to Monique Grant, who is basically just like a low reporter. There's really nothing special about, you know, her status as a reporter. Like, she's not the New York Times or something, right? So everyone's kind of confused because they're like, why would she want to talk to Monique Grant? You know, like when you can talk to so many other people for basically money, because people would pay her millions for her life story. So Evelyn Hugo tells her life to Monique Grant in basically like with her 7 husbands. So her first husband, where her life was at. Her second husband, where her life was at. Her third husband, where her life was at. And at the end, we do see why she chooses Monique Grant. This made me cry at the end. This was so good. I recommend it to everyone. It has a female-female relationship, and this is so important because there are a lot of important heavy issues that they tackle in this one. And so I recommend this. I think it's so good. I'm going to talk more about this when I do my author spotlight for Taylor Jenkins Reid. But yes, I would highly recommend it. If you haven't read it yet, I would say go for it. I bought this at my used bookstore for like $5. I saw it and I snatched it up. And so I flew through it in like a couple of hours, and I cried so hard at the end. I cried so hard, but in a good way or in a bad way? I don't know. You're gonna have to read it. A book that made you happy. Well, yes. A book that made me happy was The Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. Yes. So this was originally a Tumblr post comic book. I read, I think, up to like book 1. Yes, I read up to book 1 and some of book 2 on Tumblr. And then I just realized that I wanted to wait until she prints them, and I wanted to wait until she finishes them. So I got both of them, and I think I read this like within an hour. These are so good. These are so good. So basically our main character, Biddy, he goes to this university to play hockey, but he is this really tiny boy. That's why they call him Biddy. And he's a figure skater, but he's really good in skates. You know, they recruit him because they think he'll be good in playing hockey. So it's kind of his years in this school. And it's called Check Please because, you know, hockey players, they check other hockey players. And so he said, like, it's check please, because like that's how he is as a person. Anyway, so this has a male-male relationship. It has a found family trope. It is so funny. It is so cute. It is so lighthearted. Honestly, if you need something that you can just read really quickly, it will make you feel better. It will make you cry in a good way. This is what I will say, in a good way. It will make you laugh. You'll love these characters, let me just tell you. And I recommend this to anyone who just needs something light and easy and just fun and good to read, because you know what, sometimes we need that. Sometimes we don't need to read these friggin' 500 books of fantasies and people killing people and girl getting betrayed and guy getting killed. Like, sometimes we just need people falling in love, people finding a family, and, you know, a good coming out story. So I love how I'm putting some away, but not others. Okay, so this one I don't have anything for. It's my favorite book to movie slash TV adaptation. I was gonna do Normal People, but I actually haven't read it yet, and I know the TV show is out on Hulu, and I know everyone loves it. I haven't started it. I'm going to sometime soon. I just have a lot of other books I need to read. But yeah, this was one of my add-ons for Book of the Month. This was their April 2019 picks. Ooh, the font's big. Yeah, so I guess I haven't read it. I know that I think it's good, right? I think it's really good. I know people really love TV shows, so I guess this counts as my answer. My favorite video that I've uploaded, that's question number 13. It would have to be my last one, my review about The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I love it. I think I'm really proud of that one because I think I said what I need to say very clearly, very concisely, very professionally. Probably because I had to send that in to the publisher. So I didn't want to accidentally mess up and say something, or, you know, so that one I think I'm most proud of. Yeah, that one I'm most proud of. The most beautiful book you've bought. Look at how pretty it is. Oh my God, it's so pretty. The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. Oh my God, I'm so excited. The fact that I haven't read this, a crime. So this book takes place in 1889. Our main character, Severin, he is kind of asked / ordered to help the Order of Babel. And if he does get this ancient artifact that they need, he will get his true inheritance. So he enlists the help of these people to try and get this ancient artifact. People compare this to Six of Crows because it's also a heist book, but like Six of Crows doesn't have a monopoly on heist books, and this one's way more diverse. No, I'm not saying Six of Crows is in my holy grail shelf. I'm not saying anything bad about Six of Crows. It's one of my favorite books of all time, hands down. I think it's in my holy trinity, maybe maybe. But yeah, so I'm really excited to read this one. I have heard really good reviews about it. My mutuals on book Twitter, they are obsessed with this one, and it's diverse. I know there's a good romance in it. Look at how pretty it is. And it has the edges. I don't know what they're called. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Oh my god, it's so pretty. And it's like good. You know how much I love my hardcovers. And the last one. Okay, 6 books you want to read. Okay, so I really want to read The Burning God, book 3 of the Poppy War trilogy, coming out in November. I want to read The Gilded Wolves, obviously. I want to read Number of the Ashes. Okay, this one, and Number of the Ashes, I think I told you guys about this one. I'm really excited to read it. This one's also very pretty. Criers War by Nina Varela. This one I think has a enemies to lovers trope, and it's female love. It's a sapphic book, so I'm really excited to read this one. I'm gonna read it soon, really soon. I know the second one is coming, and even though I haven't read this one, I'm probably gonna put on the second one already. So like I said, that's how I am as a person. I already know I'm gonna fall in love with Crier and Ayla. Let's just get that straight. The Infinite Noise by Lauren Shippen. This one is also a male romance. I'm not sure. Oh shoot, I should have prepared this one. I just know it has something to do with supernatural abilities, and I think there's like a miscommunication trope, which is one of my favorite tropes of all time. I love miscommunication tropes and unrequited feelings trope. Yes, as you can tell, I really love angst. Short, it's cute. Song of Achilles. Yes, I still haven't read it. Yes, this one's gonna make me bawl. Yes, this is gonna make me cry. Yes, this is gonna make me hate myself. And yes, this is gonna break me. We know. All right, let's move on. And finally, I really want to read Wolf Song by TJ Klune. I'll put it up here. I'm really excited to read it because I've heard great things about it. Also on book Twitter and on Goodreads. I've read the reviews. Really good. So yeah, so those are all the ones, and obviously besides the ones that I've talked about, like Felix Ever After. Yeah, so that's my mid-year book out tag. I'm really excited to hopefully read all these. Oh my god, I'm really excited just to get back into reading. I kind of stopped a little bit just because I was getting a little bit overwhelmed because my reading slash booktube slash book Twitter kind of just overlapped, and I kind of started feeling like I needed to read in order to film, but that's not it. I read, and then if I want, I film. I've kind of like come to terms with that, because before I was like, oh my god, I need to read this and this and this so I can make a video about it. I need to read this and this in this time, and this and this in this time, and I have to read this book with this book so I can make a video about it. I have to read that book but not this book because they don't go together in a video. I was doing all of this in my head, and I just got too wrapped up into it, and I kind of got into the reading slump. But don't worry, I'm back. My Goodreads challenge is thanking me for that. So yeah, I'm really excited to get back into reading like books, like really like 2 books a day. So especially because, oh my god, I got into law school. Whoop, whoop. So now I have 2-ish free months of just reading and hopefully uploading videos. So yes, okay, that was a lot. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked it, and stay safe, stay sane, and go read your favorite book for me.